Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Welcome to the channel. Well, look, are you ready guys? Because all I gotta say is buckle up. There are so many legacy extension sequels coming out this year. Just IP catnip looking for franchise thirsty and nostalgia happy audiences. Is that you? It's not me. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's give Frozen Empire, hard to get with that name sometimes, a fair shake. Let's suck in the guts, guys. This is Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
There's something strange in your neighborhood.
Let's start here. Ask yourselves this. What was Ghostbusters really? The original, stone cold classic. One of the most inventive films of not only the blockbuster happy 80s, but ever made. But as much as Jason Reitman wants to take this franchise over from his father and make it a family drama, and that's totally his prerogative to do so, it was a comedy. It was a bunch of SNL stars chucked together into a workplace drama that had spooky moments, but was always goofy and hilarious. And to director Gil Kenan and Reitman's credit, Frozen Empire seems to get this a little bit better than Afterlife did, at least when it's humming. Empire understands that Ghostbusters is about tension and comedy. So the film starts with an intriguing opener that spooks a little before offering us a barrage of quick-hitting one-liners. Then we're introduced to new character cameos which are often quite funny. Patton Oswalt and Kumail Nanjiani particularly come to mind here. The scene between Bill Murray and the latter is basically just an improv comedy sketch, but it works. And I've got to show some love to Dan Aykroyd. He's famous for believing that the original Ghostbusters should have played like a serious drama. That's a take that has aged poorly, mostly because he actually believed a lot of the paranormal stuff himself. But it serves him well in this one because he's just fully going for it. There are also some new additions to the franchise, like the novel gadgetry that the Spangler family employs in the ghost busting. And I love the Possessor ghost, which could basically zip around between anything inanimate and set it in motion. Finally, I've got to say it. This movie brings back not only Murray, Aykroyd, and Hudson, but Annie Potts and William Atherton as well. Not to mention those little Stay Puft dudes and a passing callback to the ghost in the library. So, if nostalgia is your thing, maybe this one gets you. Well, I mean, I just said it. There are like 45 main characters in this movie. Most of them are getting after it. But the trouble with so many stars is hardly any get enough runtime for development at all. Like I've said, this movie is built on sentimental remembrances and a stacked cast. Nostalgia-fueled fun. So while it's pretty cool to see the generations reunite and have some laughs, this new story is just too thin. What actually happens is worse. We get kind of caught between two different eras. Ideally, this film would build on the decent foundation that Afterlife laid and head in exciting new directions. But really, it's kind of like a recycled villain from the original, with these old-timers kind of thrown into these heavy cameo roles. It's just exceedingly difficult to make different eras congeal and coalesce into something that doesn't feel artificial and overly fan servicey. Speaking of this whole thing, I'd love your thoughts on this other ghost plotline. I guess I appreciated the new direction that the film was trying to go in, but it was really hard plot-wise not to feel like she was just a deus ex machina to get the big bad into New York City. I also think the plot with Garaka in the third act just gets a little too self-serious. In the original two films, we're dealing with a giant marshmallow man and a dude who walks out of a painting. The most intense moments are always still highly amusing. And lastly, you almost completely sidelined Slimer. He's just an old glutton in the attic now? You didn't roll the iconic theme song until the final credits? And if we have to have more of these, please, can someone go find Sigourney Weaver to bring back that wild, out there, chaotic comic energy that we've been missing? So, what do we conclude? Unfortunately, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is a rather uninspired and easily forgettable adventure, where we're forced to juggle about 10 different major characters and one of the more derivative head villains in recent memory. Fortunately, there are some fresh comedians brought into the fold this time around to raise the laugh quotient, and the core cast from Afterlife remains solid and intact. But the overall impression I was left with has been the same for 3 films running now. There is just only one great Ghostbusters film.
there's something strange in your neighborhood.
Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this picture. FOF gives Ghostbusters Frozen Empire 2.3 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to visit FurmanOnFilm.com for even more movie content. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends.